Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So as you can see on the title, these are going to be the first 10 things that I would do if there was some kind of an economic collapse or a systemic financial crisis where the banks were closed and the ATMs were not working. Now let me make a quick announcement before we start. Congratulations again to the previous winners of our last giveaway. All of the prizes were claimed and they've all been shipped out and or received already. So congratulations again, and thank you very much to everyone who participated. Now stick around to the end of this video, ladies and gentlemen, because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to explain to you guys what are the first 10 things that I'm going to do in case something like this were to happen. And I would like you guys to participate by jotting down the first 10 things you guys would do. And whoever's comments gets the most thumbs up is going to win one of these nice little Olight flashlights. Now this is a small and inexpensive flashlight. They're only like $10. However, it's what I use for my everyday carry, and it is an outstanding flashlight. It's like 90 lumens, and whoever wins it, I'm sure will enjoy having it because, like I said, it's a very high quality, very good flashlight to have. Fits great on your keychain and or in your pocket. So let's get started. So imagine if you woke up in the morning and you heard in the news that the stock market has crashed, that the banks are closed, that the ATMs are not allowing people to withdraw money. What would you do? So the first thing I would do is I would call into work. After which, I would retrieve my emergency stash of cash. Get with my neighbors, set up some security so that my neighbors and I and my family can go on a shopping trip that day. Now, depending on how many vehicles are involved, I would say that the more vehicles, the better. Being that this is the first day, people are not going to be panicking, but there are going to be opportunities out there that you can take advantage of. But first, you're going to have to take care of the things that are most important to you. That is why your list may not match mine, because depending what part of the world you're in, what your situation is, what preps you already have, will depend on what things you would do. The main point of this video is to get you to start thinking, what would you do? Okay, so number 2, I would go to the gas station and I will fill up every single empty can that I could get a hold of with gasoline. I would top off all of my vehicles, in addition to topping off any gas cans I could get a hold of that would hold heating fuel, and fill up my propane tanks and get as many as I can get a hold of. That's the first priority that I would have in spending the cash that I had on hand. Now remember, it's recommended, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's recommended, and I think it's a good idea, that a person have a minimum of 1 to 2 months, if not up to 6 months, of expenses in the form of cash. Not necessarily in your home, but somewhere where you can actually get a hold of it physically without having to go to the bank to get it. Because if the banks close, then you're going to be out of luck with your cash in the bank and not having any way to get it out of there. The third thing I would do is I would go to the supermarket, get as many fresh protein items as I can. And what happens is, or at least what I've noticed that happens in the area that I live in, is whenever there's going to be a power outage that lasts more than a day or two, the supermarkets, they sell their meats, their fresh meats and their fresh produce and products at a discount, because they know that they're not going to be able to keep those refrigerators and or freezers going long term enough to be able to keep those products good. So they usually put them on sale for like half off. This actually happened here last year. The fourth thing I would do is I would go to the pharmacy and stock up on all of the over-the-counter pain relief and basic everyday first aid and hygiene items. Now, depending on what supermarket you go to, like if I go to Costco, I may be able to do that at the same time, which would be optimal, because in a situation like this, time would be of the essence. The fifth thing is I would stock up on as many batteries as I possibly can. And not only batteries like AA's, AAA's, batteries that go into small electronic devices, but I would try to get my hands on some deep cycle batteries that can be used in conjunction with my small solar system. Number 6, I would top off my 1,000-gallon water system, and I would purchase as much bottled water as I can haul back. Number 7, I would buy enough sanitary items such as toilet paper, hygiene items that I know may not be available in the near future should this crisis turn into a long-term crisis. And ladies and gentlemen, it's very simple to determine how much toilet paper, let's say for example, you would require. Just multiply the number of rolls that your family uses in a week's time, and then multiply that number of rolls times 52. That's how many rolls you're going to need for a year. I would get at least 2 years worth. Why? Because toilet paper is easy to store. It doesn't have to be temperature controlled. As long as you keep it away from pests and rodents, it should be okay. Number 8, I would purchase black plastic and plywood. The black plastic I would purchase so that I can use to make blackout curtains. Again, just in case this crisis turns into a long-term crisis, you're not going to want to alert your neighborhood that you're still doing well by having light, and the plywood that you get can be used to barricade your windows and or your doors should you need to. Number 9, I'm going to go to the supermarket again, probably on the second day. And I'm going to go to other stores like sporting goods stores on the second day. Maybe not so much the third day, because if this is still going on by the third day, I believe that by the third day, things will start getting a little sketchy out there. Being that on the second or even third day, most of the cash that people already had on hand, since most people don't really keep a lot of cash on hand, they would have already used that up. So what does that mean? That means that in your area, there may be somewhat of a deflationary crisis, meaning that there's not enough cash to go around, giving the stores, supermarkets, pharmacies, gas stations, wherever it is that you go, an incentive to sell their items at a lower cost because they know that people just don't have cash. So if you still have a bit of cash reserves by the second or maybe early into the third day, you may be able to get a lot more for that cash than what you were able to get on the first day. Number 10, depending on what day of the week this occurs, I would have definitely called into work and stayed home with my ears to the ground in order to provide security, assistance to my community, and gauge whether this is going to be a short or long-term crisis. And number 11, ladies and gentlemen, I would definitely keep all of my receipts. Because this may sound kind of funny, but I would definitely keep all of my receipts, because if for some reason we have a financial collapse and some miracle happens to where everything is back up and running and we have cash back in the system and the banks open up like in a week or so, you can always bring back a lot of the things that you know that you don't immediately need. You know, like the deep cycle batteries, things like that. You can always keep all of the food that you bought and medicine that you bought and toilet paper that you bought, because you know that those things will be of use to you in the near future. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is just a quick list of some of the things that I thought that I would do during the first 2 or 3 days of a crisis in the banking system. And the reason that I chose a crisis occurring within the banking system is because personally, that is what I feel is going to get us before anything else. I think that before we have a food crisis, I think that before we have any other crises that is considered a systemic crisis, meaning that it's widespread, that the economy is what's going to take a plunge first. However, it doesn't matter if that's what happens. It could be anything else. So considering that I'm already pretty well prepared, this is the list that I came up with. Now, like I said before, if you would like to participate and put a list of 10 things that you would do first, should something like this happen, please do, and you'll be entered to win the Olight flashlight that you saw in the beginning of the video. And whoever gets the most thumbs up on their comment showing the list of things they would do first will win that Olife flashlight, and I'll have it shipped off to you. I will go ahead and close the window to leaving comments and leaving thumbs up on comments until Friday of next week. So not this Friday, the 1st of November, but the Friday that's the 8th of November. And then I'll disclose the winner on that Sunday's video. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you participate, not just because you want to win a small flashlight, but because I think this would really help a lot of us get a gauge on the things that we may not be thinking about. Because, you know, many hands make little work, right? So when we all put all of our ideas together, we can all benefit from each other's ideas and each other's answers. So I hope that you all participate, and I'm happy to give away the flashlight so that somebody can get something out of it. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. Let me give you guys a reminder about this Sunday. There will not be a live chat this Sunday, no live chat premiere. However, I do have a payday prep going out this week, and I do believe that there will be a short video for Sunday as well. Just no payday, just no live chat premiere. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. I truly do hope you participate, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And listen, if you would like to support the channel, please just take a look at the links below. Everything down there costs you $0. If you're going to do shopping, use my links. It helps the channel, and it doesn't cost you any more money. So thank you very much for joining in. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place.
Blessings to you and your family.
Victor says many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I'm out.